How do you view the purpose of the partnership, just in terms of the IITK-VT collaboration?
Well, I look at it as an opportunity to get to know the faculty and the kind of research work that's being done here, share it with the community in IIT Kanpur, and have an opportunity while this project is on to work on projects which are not necessarily full-blown research projects with very well-defined objectives and deliverables and so on, but do some of those projects, and in the process get to know people here in VT, and then try to develop full research projects. And I think what has happened in this partnership is that it has taken about a year and a half or two with the student exchanges which have happened. I mean, 7 or 8 of our graduate students have come and spent time here, that we have some idea in some areas, I mean, resiliency and water infrastructure, construction safety, transportation, public-private partnership. But these are the areas where we could try and develop full-fledged research proposals to be submitted to funding agencies either in India or in the United States, with a little more confidence. We did not know any of the people here, and I think that has what has changed as a result of this partnership.
How critical have the students been to this collaboration?
The students have been very critical, and I would expect that to happen in an academic institute because they are the real backbone of a lot of work that goes on. I mean, the faculty advises them, guides them, helps them focus or define a problem better, but they are the ones who actually carry out a lot of work. I mean, a lot of the work, if not all of it. I mean, so I think they have been very critical in helping me understand the kind of work that's going on here, and I think I can say that for the other colleagues as well, who have been part of the partnership.
Are there specific challenges that you've experienced with this sort of international collaboration, or lessons that you've learned that if as we move forward that we can try new things or try different ways to communicate? Or I'm thinking specifically of the sort of various attempts that we've tried to implement with our knowledge platform, and that's still a work in progress.
Yes, the knowledge platform, unfortunately, I don't think took off the way we thought it would. And one of the reasons was that we expected perhaps a lot more traffic on the platform in terms of the ideas, in terms of the reports or input in the papers and publications and so on. But looking back at it and kind of reevaluating the situation, I think that's the way it would have happened, because once we did not have a very well-defined research agenda across the two universities, it was difficult to generate that kind of traffic, where something like a knowledge platform would have become viable or a very interesting proposition to work with. But at this point in time onwards, if we work together on specific research projects, then I think the situation is likely to be quite different.
Mm-hmm. If you were looking out a couple of years, maybe 5 years, what would be the sort of ideal scenario in terms of where we've gone with this partnership and what we've achieved?
See, I mean, at this point in time, I think what's happening is that we have 2 or 3 master's students. We'll probably have a joint supervision where people in VT would be joint supervisors of MTech thesis in IIT Kanpur. As we go along, possibly we would, or I foresee that, well, people from IIT Kanpur would be co-supervisors for work which is being done in VT. But that would require students traveling to Kanpur a lot more than has happened in this particular partnership. So once the students move from VT to IIT Kanpur, and the faculty from VT also moves to IIT Kanpur for discussions, visits, lectures, and so on, I think we have very interesting and exciting possibilities ahead in terms of joint research, especially with especially in areas where we could supplement or complement each other's strengths. So there are some things which we have already identified. We'll probably try to see if some of those facilities can be funded, and if those things come through, yes, there can be a lot of exciting times ahead.
One final question is about the courses and curriculum. We haven't talked about that. We have a number of things underway. Do you have any thoughts on expanding that, or just making that more established and streamlined and effective first before we grow? I mean, what do you see as the curriculum educational side of this?
Well, the educational side of it has immense potential. There are two things which I have in mind. One is the kind of curriculum and coursework which is, let's say, confined or bounded by the rules and regulations of the institute and the credits associated with it and so on. The other part of education and curriculum is an outreach activity, and there is always a possibility that we can do the lectures and place them on the websites where anyone and everyone has access to them. Obviously, in those kind of situations, the universities will possibly not give any credit for that, but that's a different matter altogether. As far as the knowledge dissemination is concerned, as far as the dissemination of information available at the two universities is concerned, that can still happen. So if we go beyond the credit rules and regulations of the two universities as to what courses should be offered, whether it should be an elective or should not be an elective, so long as there is a body of knowledge which is formalized and we are able to put it on the website or deliver it to people who are interested to receive it, can be done through continuing education programs for professional engineers. So those are the kind of things which again has absolutely unlimited potential.